Spatchcock Funk is in the house. Our house, and your house too. You know where the party's at? Wherever you're at. We're gonna teach you how to throw the best parties, the best dinners, the best get-togethers. All you need is the people you love, and we'll take care of the rest. Spatchcock Funk. Dope food, strong drinks, great stories. Like Wu-Tang said, life is hectic. Things get complicated. And if your Facebook relationship says that, it's already over. Staying in the moment, trying to find that balance sometimes goes up like a puff of, well, you know. Social media, work, family drama, all of it keeps coming in waves and it don't quit, but neither should you. Remember, even good stress is still stress. If you want to take the world on, you gotta take a day off every once in a while. Engines run best when they're well maintained. Our mental health, our bodies, muscles, all need recovery time. And that's what we're all about today. We reached out to some of our super dope homeboys, and what's up, guys? And we're unplugging from work and the world. Look, baby, as you're grinding like every day, it's easy to lose sight of all the good things you got in this world. So staying in the moment is critical. Trying to catch that perfect feeling is like trying to catch smoke. Sometimes it just passes through your fingers. Remember how when you were a kid, some moments just seem magical? That's because as a youngin', you were staying in the moment.
Yo, be magical and grab the boards, man.
That's what this is all about. Be present. For us, gathering up the fellas, getting away from all the noise helps us reset and get ready to go back to the world and crush it. We're recharging our batteries and refueling our fire. This is Up in Smoke. When you're trying to unplug, unwind, sometimes it helps to get unhinged, y'all. And we were making a cocktail that cannot be beat. This legendary bartender named Dan Lee invented what we're about to do in New York City in around 2007. But we are gonna do what's called bacon washing bourbon. And that makes this old fashioned the porkiest of old fashions. And when we're hanging out, playing cards with the fellas, having a good time, we get a little porky if you get my drift. Now, the key ingredients, 2 parts. Bourbon, and we're using a toasted bourbon, so it's got like a real like smoky flavor to it, and then bacon. So we made candied bacon, and candied bacon is bacon. We took a pound of it, cut it in half, covered it with brown sugar, some paprika, some cayenne pepper, and some salt and pepper, and then threw it in the oven at 350 for about 25 minutes so it crisped it up, then let it cool off. But we saved the grease. I've got that grease in this pan. So next, we take a full bottle, about 750 milliliters of a great bourbon. And we like using a plastic tub. Use anything plastic, because this is going in the freezer, but it's wide and we can really do some stuff with it. Now we take this bacon grease. This is where the science project really comes at work. And that Dan Lee, mad scientist, and we're just trying to rep his game. So we're gonna just pour in all that, and we're gonna hold back the solids. Now, there's a little bit of solids and grease in there, so I'm gonna take a strainer, and I've got some cheesecloth, but you can use a coffee filter here, and then strain out the last bits of it, and just catch any solids. From there, stir it up, get it evenly mixed. We're gonna let this sit for 4 hours at room temperature, minimum 4 hours. Then we're gonna put some saran wrap on the lower level, saran wrap on the top level, and put it in the freezer for at least 3 hours or overnight. We got this bacon washed bourbon out of the freezer, and I can see all the bourbon down here, but the fat and the solids have solidified. So next, we are gonna break through the ice, baby. And this is ice made of bacon fat. So I want to get that out of my tub, and you know, it could be a good candy bar actually someday, but we're just gonna get rid of that. We still want to make sure that all the solids are out so we can get the best drink possible. So we got our strainer back out. Now, to get our glass ready, we got a beautiful rocks glass, but even better, a big Spatchcock Funk ice cube. Putting that in our glass. The big cube actually keeps your bourbon cold without diluting that much. And we don't want to dilute this because the flavor is great. Now, I am 205 pounds of Twisted Steel and sex appeal. This is 750 milliliters of bacon washed bourbon, and that's beautiful. To mix this thing up, get yourself a shaker of ice. We're gonna put in for each person 2 ounces, but I'm a big drinker, and I got someone on the set's gonna have a drink, so I'm gonna put 4 or 5 ounces of this bourbon in here. Then, we're adding in a teaspoon per drink of brown sugar simple syrup. Per drink, about 3 shakes of some bitters. Shake this thing up. Strain into your glass. And the garnishes here, man, we are getting luxe, y'all. So we got one of those dark red cherries we're gonna put in here. We're also gonna take in a big fat orange twist because it just looks cool, y'all. I wanna look cool while we're feeling cool. And then the last one is a piece of that candied bacon. Boom! To all the peeps you unwinding with, uncork one of these baddies. Bacon for days. You're hanging out with your boys, your girls away for the weekend like we're doing, make sure you come correct. We had a great cocktail, now we're making a great meal, and it starts with a great salad. And trust me, great salads are very hard to come by. Salad's usually what my food eats, but this salad is for real, y'all. This is the Shipwreck Wedge Salad. So called because, you know, like the wedge, it's a wedge, right? But we use iceberg lettuce, the best, hardest one since the one that sank the Titanic. Getting this puppy started is pretty easy. A bunch of halved cherry tomatoes with some olive oil, some fresh lemon juice, kosher salt, some black pepper. Then just toss that together. Let it just chill together a little bit. Now comes the dressing. This dressing we got from our friend Mason Hereford, who's the author of the James Beard nominated cookbook, Turkey and the Wolf, and we like using it, obviously. Got a bunch of blue cheese crumbles in here, man. Sour cream, y'all. Mayonnaise. Buttermilk. More fresh lemon juice. Garlic powder. Got some onion powder. Celery salt, my homie Danielle made for me. And celery seed, too. Getting all the celery and fresh garden up in here. Poppy seeds. So be careful if you're taking a drug test because there's a lot in here. Then fresh kosher salt to taste, and then more of that freshly ground black pepper. Now we're also gonna add in a little bit of hot sauce. And by little, I mean like at least a teaspoon, because this hot sauce is not gonna make the thing hot at all. It's gonna bring out all this fatty, cheesy, salty goodness and really combine with things to make it just work out really good. Mix it all up. After you mix it up, set it aside for at least 10 minutes, chill it. It'll come together, but this blue cheese sauce for wings, wherever you're gonna do. And this crew we're hanging with, man, for this trip, they're willing to do anything, y'all. We could be in kayaks, we could be in a hot air balloon. These dudes like to party, so you're gonna make a dressing that parties hard. We about to crash this ship with no survivors. Take your head of iceberg lettuce, smack it, cut off the bottom, cut off the top. Cut you into some wedges, y'all. And if you got a little older one like this, you can get some smaller ones, so sometimes we might do, instead of the whole quarter wedge, get a small baby like this, cut a half wedge. Then we're gonna hit it with some salt and pepper. We wanna see a mountain of the dressing, because let's face it, the lettuce and the leaves are never the star of a salad, and if you think they are, no one's ever made you a really good salad before. You want this thing to pop, you need more poppy seeds, onion, garlic, all that stuff. So we've got everything bagel seasoning, because we want this salad to be everything. We wanna add more color and flavor to this baby, so we're gonna add in some of these beautiful halved olive oil cherry tomatoes. The thing that makes this salad fantastic, any wedge salad, is the bacon. You can use bacon crumbles, and that's fine, and that's a way to learn this thing up. But to me, man, it's lardons, bacon lardons. These are pylons of pleasure. In fact, my favorite cut of pork is the bacon lardon. After that, the final thing to keep this thing fresh and healthy, like salads are supposed to be, we've got some freshly cut dill. I'm about to go down with the ship, y'all. Because sometimes, if it's worth it, I'm always going down. Get some tomato, some bacon, and a lot of that blue cheese on here. A salad to die for.
The guys are out of town for the night, so time for us to take over. And when we do that, we like to do something a little bit different, change it up a bit. No better place to do that than the smash room.
So you guys need to put on eyeglasses and face shields, then do disposable gloves before you put on work gloves. These are like for smaller hands. These are for large hands.
Okay, talk to me about
Are there
the helmets.
sizes for these, or are they just one size fits all?
No, they're sizes. So you're gonna go right in here
Okay.
on the tags. There's little white tags. It's like small and then
Awesome.
goes up to 4XL.
Talk to me about the helmets. Do we need both the face shield and the helmet? Is that optional if we're kind of feeling the helmet vibe?
If you want the helmet, you're gonna wear one of these instead. They're more of like a backup option for us. So we prefer you to wear the eyeglasses and face shields.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have other questions?
No?
Not yet.
I can make you break your neck. I can make you break a sweat. I can make you break.
Okay, I'll be right in here. So do you have questions so far about anything?
Well, I'm wondering about this vase because I have a matching one at home, and I'm wondering if this one came with the lid. Mine's missing a lid.
Might have. You can look in there if you want.
Can I take one of these home with me? This is a very
Would that
cute
be
cup.
okay?
As long as it's not broken or has a
market
sharp
for a
part on it,
towel.
you can, yeah. But with the tools, just make sure you spread out as much as possible so that way you don't get injured while you're here as well.
Good call.
Any questions?
I don't think so.
No? You guys ready? Yeah?
I guess so.
All right.
Roll the windows down. Yeah, I love to hear the sound of the bass in my face. Yeah. Real loud. I like it real loud.
We about to get creamed, y'all. We are serving cream spinach as the side. Now, there are a lot of famous ways to pair things with steak. I mean, you got potatoes, but since we're drinking a starch, we're good enough here. There's all sorts of things that just feel good with it too, but what we really want to do here is make a really classic banger, and that is cream spinach. This version is hard to beat. Let's get started. Put in a whole mess of butter. Get that all melted up. Add in some sweet onion. Get that going. And remember, we're gonna season as we go with some salt and pepper because we like a depth of flavor. And you know we're gonna get deep smoking them cigars and drinking that bourbon around a fire. So we wanna make sure we're getting it going. And we're gonna do this for at least 5-6 minutes until we got the onions real translucent and clear and the butter's all melted up. Some minced garlic, both jarred and fresh combined. For another few minutes on here and get that browned up. Now it's smelling right, y'all. That garlic fragrant, the aromatic of it is just awesome. And you can't have cream spinach, y'all, without some heavy cream. So let's make things heavy, y'all. Cream in there, stir that up till it starts to simmer just a little bit. Put some cream cheese in here too, baby. Now we're getting the cheese going on it. Till that gets melted up, split it up, stir it up a little bit. Whole mess of freshly grated, really good Parmesan cheese. These are our really good friends, y'all, so we're gonna use the good stuff. Stir that around. Get it all melted. Then we're gonna add in some extra sharp shredded provolone too that we shredded ourselves. Shred by hand and get it going. A big healthy pinch of nutmeg. Get that all mixed up with the cheese. Once we're making sure there's no chunks of cheese in there and they're broken up, we're gonna add in about 1.5 pounds of spinach. You're gonna notice there's more cream and more cheese and more butter than spinach itself. So don't be fooled. When you order cream spinach, if it's done right, it ain't that healthy. And if you thought it was, we just took that away from you. So put in all that spinach. And as you mix it, we're gonna put in another big dose of salt and pepper. They say to taste, but again, we're gonna be okay. You're not gonna oversalt this. So mix that up until you start seeing it a nice green across the board. Add in your salt and pepper and keep stirring it till it's an even color, even light green. If you need to, I'm gonna put a little splash of more heavy cream in here and then let it cook for a little bit and it'll solidify a little bit more, but we like it kind of runny and got the cheese going on it so it just sits on the plate and kind of make sure the whole world feels it. Now this is a spinach that Popeye himself couldn't handle, man. Strong, cheesy, powerful. And our friends, which are awesome and great humans, they can be powerful in life, but they're also cheesy sometimes too. That's what makes this thing great, makes our friends great too. Oh, it smells so good. Got my pocket fork. Always have some good friends in your pocket and a fork too. Let's try this out. Maybe the best side to have with meat anywhere in the world. You know how sometimes when you're hanging with your peeps away from the world, things just get heavy in conversation? We're making a heavy duty protein, y'all. This is heavy metal steak. So called because we use heavy metal to cook it, y'all, in cast iron. This is restaurant quality stuff done at home. That easy, that fantastic. Now, the heavy metal steak, besides the cast iron skillet, is a big, beautiful ribeye. This has been sitting out for at least a half hour. You want this big, beautiful ribeye, about 2.5 inches thick, and heavily salted. You cannot over salt it. This is gonna bring the moisture to the top of the steak, and when we sear it, it's gonna have this nice crisp edge to it, that beautiful awesomeness, the Maillard effect. The steak, ready to go. We're also gonna make a compound butter that just melts beautifully. And this is one of those gourmet tricks you see at restaurants that you think you can't make at home, and you certainly can. I also have a little Cabby Savvy here, a really nice wine from Cali. Whenever we serve a steak, we drink wine with it. Whenever we cook them, we drink it too. So I've got 1 stick of unsalted room temperature butter. That's important. I'm gonna throw in a bunch of paprika, about a tablespoon. I'm gonna throw in half a teaspoon of table salt. I'll set it aside for a second. I've also got a couple tablespoons of fresh rosemary that I picked from my garden. I'm gonna chop it up as finely as I can, and then I'm gonna mix that in there too. Now I got my favorite knife, about to cook for some of my favorite people, making one of my favorite things. But the compound butter adds a level of complexity and like more fatty goodness on top of it. And that just makes me feel special. When you give someone something like, man, why go to a restaurant where I can just eat here with you guys? That's what you want. That's the idea why I love to cook. My mom taught me that, my grandma. Making food for someone is showing them how much you love them, and that's what's important. That's why I love cooking. That's why I love drinking. That's why I love partying. That's why I love giving hugs, shoulder shrugs, mean mugs, all that stuff. Put our rosemary in here. Now we're gonna mix this up. And a compound butter is really just room temperature butter mixed with different flavors you wanna bring together and compound the flavors. Take the back of a spoon and just press it down and keep pressing it and mashing it using a spatula every once in a while to poke it off to the side, and keep twirling it and mashing it up until you get this evenly, really kind of red color. You'll see as we mash it out. That is what we're talking about. You can just put this on bread, on some toast, it's awesome. But to get it the way we want it to, we're gonna take a piece of parchment paper, we're gonna roll it into a log. Put it in the fridge for at least 2 hours. Now, gourmet compound butter. Time for the steak. So first, sip our wine, then preheat your oven to 415 degrees. Then the cast iron skillet, get it pretty hot on top of your stove, like pretty hot. Throw in a bunch of butter, 2.5 minutes each side, then in the oven for 4 minutes for rare to medium rare. Sizzling out of the oven. Time to rest this thing up. Our compound butter out of the fridge. Looking beautiful. We're gonna put a few tabs on that on top of our steak before we rest it. Ten it and rest it. So we out in the woods with our buddies. This guy's in the woods doing some camping, so we're tenting this thing up. Tent it and let it rest for 5 good minutes. Maybe have some more wine while it rests. Time for the moment of truth. Medium rare, that's just how we like this, y'all. Take a big old bite of this beauty, because we're serving our friends, man. We want them to be happy and feel good, because that's what it's all about. Here's to unplugging, hang out with your friends, smoking cigars, just living the life right. This is where it's at. This is the wilderness camping. I'm down, man.
I wouldn't quite call this the wilderness. This is my style of camping.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sleep in a bed tonight. I have a bathroom with a toilet.
Flushes.
I don't have to go in the woods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been real camping?
Real camping, I wouldn't say that. I went camping once in 5th grade. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's why I don't go real camping anymore either. I've been once too.
Yeah.
It's more of a hike. Went with a bunch of friends, convinced me to go last minute. I regretted it the entire first day. We had one expert. He calls himself an expert of hiking. We were going to hike into a mountain, go up this mountain, come down. So I was like, let's go. So we go in. It was like a 9-mile hike to even get to the mountain. And you're like jumping on rocks and you're like, I mean, dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done it.
So
I didn't complain about it as much, but I've
yeah.
done
So
it.
we get in and one of our buddies decided to bring a grill.
What?
Which yeah, I mean, he's never been either. So he packed a grill
Ricky would.
with hot dogs. And the hot dogs stayed in his pack for like, you know, probably warming up a little bit for the 9-mile hike.
Yeah.
So we get there to the base of this mountain and we're trying to find a lean-to. No lean-tos available.
Lean-to.
Yeah, it's like a wooden thing that you sleep in.
It's like a box, but like
I
a
don't
house.
wish-
Imagine a house that doesn't have one wall, so it's one wall is open, but it's a shelter.
I don't wish it upon anybody.
So not a house.
It's a bunch of wood.
It's like the thing they build on Survivor, like that.
Yes.
Yeah, like that
Yes.
dock is kind of what you would be sleeping on. So
Okay.
it's cool, whatever. But these father and son let us sleep with them. 6 people, like packed tight in this.
Well, they were
lean-to.
probably afraid that you guys were going to kill yourselves if they weren't there. So
It was pretty clear I was not having fun. I made it pretty clear. So then we're sitting there, getting ready. We're going to kind of like put all of our stuff away, and Ricky's out there on the dock with this Boy Scout troop.
The tribe.
So Ricky's out there cooking hot dogs for him.
that's awesome.
And our buddy, who was the expert, said, dude, like, you can't cook hot dogs on a grill. Like, the bears are going to smell it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, there's bears? Like, I would have never, I assumed a couple snakes, which I don't love either, but there was bears.
Okay.
So the troop leader was really upset that Ricky was doing this. And
Yeah.
So me and my other buddy, Nick, were like, we got to hang, you have to hang your stuff over a tree so the bears don't get it, apparently.
Bears.
Yeah.
Bears that can climb
Yeah.
trees.
It's
sign
called,
up for that.
It's a bear bag. So in the tree, you find a high branch, you throw it over the top because the bear get up there and it'd be too heavy to get onto that branch. So it keeps the food away from
a
it.
little bit of strategy.
What
Yeah.
makes it a bear bag?
It's a bag that you put your stuff. to keep
No,
away
I
from the
get
bear.
that because so anyways, we hang this bag or stuff. I don't even know if it was a bag, but it was this like really expensive rope. Hang it over this tree. Come back the next morning, pitch black out just to get our stuff because you have to wake up early when you go camping too, which sucks.
Naturally. If you go to sleep.
If you go to sleep, and this stuff was just torn to shreds. So the bear bag's supposed to be helpful in that situation. It was not.
I think that was probably user error, though.
Maybe. But I had no instructions.
Yep.
So the bear tore all of our stuff to shreds, and we were kind of pissed at first. Like, all of our food's gone, all of our stuff's like, it wasn't my stuff. It was like the pots and pans that you go camping
Well,
with.
9 miles into the woods, you're in the bear's house. So
Oh
I
yeah.
can't really
So
blame the
we
bear.
were like, it's pitch black. This bear could be above us. It could be still here.
Well, he's around there somewhere.
Yeah. So we just left all the stuff and
Well,
ran.
hold on, but they're black bears, right? So black bears, you don't have to be scared of those. Just don't be around the cubs. But you make loud noise like, hey! And the bear is going to run away.
Not a chance.
Dude, I could fight a black bear.
No, you couldn't.
Easily.
I was out of there as fast as
Have
you
you
could
fought a
imagine.
black bear?
I have not, but I've scared a lot of them off. And I'm usually like, hey!
No
And
chance
they go
you're
running.
fighting a black
I could
bear.
easily fight a black bear.
Well, we didn't fight the black bear. I got out of there. I ditched the father and son, and I was like, we're going to the car. And that was it. That was the end of the trip.
I'm
and
glad
I'm
you
never
survived.
going again. Yeah, it's a fun story now, but I've never chanced. Like, this is
we got to
the
check in on the father and the son. see if
Yeah,
they're
we do.
still
See,
around.
I want to hear their version of the story.
Yeah.
When you're spending time with great friends, stay in the moment. Be present in good times and bad. When you take care of the little things, the big things take care of themselves. It's like building a fire. You need a strong base, plenty of airflow and oxygen, and room to grow. So do yourselves a favor. Feed the fire, feed your soul, and then feed the people.